Hello, fifth graders. This is Mrs. Fernandi, ready for a third week of spelling work and word work. I'm going to share my newest PowerPoint presentation with you. Let's start from the beginning here. All right, we are going to talk about long vowels this week and, of course, continue to talk about frequently misspelled words. So, here we have long A. There are three main ways to spell long A. There is the A consonant E, like the word cake. We hear that A sound in the middle, followed by the consonant K and the silent E at the end that helps the A say its name. The second way we can spell long A is the AI that we often find in the middle of a word, like in the word rain, or at the beginning of the word like aim, to aim an arrow at the target. The AI cannot happen at the end of the word. We never use the AI at the end of the word, so that's a little trick, right? Tip there. Then the third way is AY. We use that at the end of the word or at the end of a syllable. So we have A consonant E, AI as in rain, AY as in play. The end of a syllable might be a word like mayor. Mayor, M-A-Y at the beginning syllable there, ending in the A-Y. The long E also, we have the E consonant E as in the word theme. What is the theme of the lightning thief? Long E as in tree or week. You can see that can happen at the end of a word or in the middle of the word, or like eek, a mouse, it can also happen at the beginning of the word. Long E spelled E-A happens in the middle of the word. It cannot really happen at the end of a word. So you wouldn't use number 3 for the end of a word. Long E at the end of a polysyllabic word makes the long E sound as in cherry. Now, here's the thing about polysyllabic. It is just a fancy word to say poly, meaning many, syllabic syllables, many syllables, more than one syllable. Cherry. We use the Y at the end of the word to make the long E sound. For long I, we have I consonant E, like the word bite out of this apple. We have the IGH. I know you know this word family. Night, right, bright, fight, flight. There are so many words that make the long I sound with IGH. The GH, of course, is silent. The I using a Y at the end of the word, like the word sky or my or by. This book was written by this author. Usually at the end of a one-syllable word, there are times when it can show up at the end of a a word that has more than one syllable. The long O sound is made O consonant E, like in the word bone. Also OA, like in the word boat. And we wouldn't end a word with OA. The word OW is how we would end a word with a long O sound, like in the word grow or mow the yard. The long U sound is U consonant E, as in the word mule. Now, let's look at the difference between long and short vowel sounds. The long sound has that straight line above it called the macron. That line is showing that it's a long sound. So A as in ape, E as in heel, I as in ice cream, O as in mole, and U as in unicorn. Then we've got this short vowel sound. It's got the little smiley symbol that's called a breathe. You don't have to know that, but it's kind of fun to know those words. A is in cat at the chair, cat at the edge of the chair, cat in the chair, and cat on the chair, and a cat under the chair. Long versus short. Then we had just a quick review, doubling with single syllable words. Remember, there's a rule. We ask ourselves these questions. One syllable, one vowel, usually a short vowel, and then one consonant after the vowel. You can have lots of consonants before the vowel, but there can only be one after the vowel. If the suffix begins with a vowel, so it can begin with E as in est, and ed, or I as in ing, or Y as in E, long E, then we do double that consonant. So we have stop becomes stopped, double P and then add the ED, or stopping, double the P and add ING. So we're going to go over this as well. We're going to talk about the words there, and there for just a moment, because they are so confusing for students. Always start with the word the, T-H-E, and you will at least get part of the word right. So there, as in T-H-E-R-E, we see that that's a place thing, or there are many students in the class, for example, or the book is over there. So then we can think about the question word where, which is just replacing the T with a W spelled the same. Where is it? It's there. Where is it? It's here. Also spelled the same, just dropping the T. So you can see that that's almost like a word family. Where is it? It's there, it's here. So if you can think of all three of those words together, and remember that we have to have the H-E together right there, T-H-E for there, that might help a lot. That might be a good mnemonic, a good memory tip for you. There, they have their books. That is the possessive. It means it belongs to them. So they got in their car. That's a T-H-E-I-R. That's possessive. So that one, you just have to remember T-H-E start, and then you can add the I-R there. The last one is there, the contraction, meaning if you pull it apart, they are. They're going to the library. If you can pull it apart and it still makes sense, it's going to be the contraction. They are going to the library. You try to pull out the one before, it doesn't work if you try to pull that out and think, is that the contraction one? They are books. Nope, so you know it's not the contraction because it doesn't make sense. It's not subject and verb. This week's words. So we have rays. The sun's rays came through the window. You can see it has the long A spelling, A-Y at the end of the word. Goals, the team scored 2 goals in the game. Long O sound in the middle of word, often spelled O-A. Pre-flight, astronauts have many pre-flight tasks. We have pre is called a prefix, meaning before. So before they can take off in flight, they have some things they have to do. Flight is the base word, and you see that long I is spelled I-G-H. Number 4 is twice. I fell twice while I was skating. We see the long I sound is spelled I, consonant, in this case a C, E. And the S sound is spelled C. Remember that bracket like this means the sound, not the letter. And in this case, we're going to use the C there. Airplane, the airplane landed on the runway. Airplane is a compound word. Airplane, 2 separate words pushed together. The long A sound in plane is spelled A, consonant, the N, and then a silent E. Meatless. My cousin doesn't eat meat. All of his meals are meatless. Oh, I forgot my period. The base word is meat. The long E is spelled E-A. And the suffix less means without. So that means all of his meals are without meat because less means without. Cage, we keep the hamster in its cage. Long A sound is spelled A, consonant, E. And I'll just let you know now, if you hear the J sound in a 1-syllable word like this, you are going to spell it with a G. So cage is C-A-G-E. Throw, the catcher will throw the ball to the pitcher. We have that long O sound at the end of a word. It has got to be O-W. Sometimes O-W at the end of the word says ow, like in cow, but if we want that long O sound at the end of a word, we typically use O-W as well. Unwrapped, he unwrapped his birthday gift. We have the prefix un, meaning to not do, to undo, to not do. Base word is wrap. The sound R sometimes is spelled W-R at the start of a word, and P was doubled and ED was added because our base word wrap followed all the rules, 1 syllable, 1 vowel, and then 1 consonant following that vowel. O'clock, class begins at 8 o'clock in the morning. Contraction of the clock, that's what o'clock stands for. The apostrophe takes the place of the F and the whole word the. The long O is spelled simply with the letter O. That's a little bit rare. Piece, she molded the piece of clay into a bowl. This is, of course, a homophone with piece, like piece. peace of mind. It's frequently misspelled, but if we remember the I before E, except after C rule, we'll be able to spell this kind of piece correctly. Paid, we paid for our tickets and went to the theater. The long A in the middle of the word is often spelled with the AI. We'd, she thought we'd be there by noon. It's contraction of we would, and the apostrophe takes the place of the W, O, U, and the L. So we'd, standing for we would. 14 is that'll. He knows that'll be his last time at bat. That'll is a contraction of that will, and the apostrophe takes the place of the W and the I. There, here it is. It's the possessive form. They carried their camping gear in backpacks. So the homophone being there is a hole in my pocket, or the backpack is over there. Where is it? Here, there. All of those words spelled the same except for the beginning. This kind of there is often the trickiest for people to remember. Okay, so remember our memory steps. Read the word, say the syllables to help you spell. So far, we've done mostly one-syllable words, but we're quickly moving toward polysyllabic words, many-syllabled words. Step 2, you're going to underline the parts that are hard for you, and then you're going to cover the word, say the word, and write the word out by syllables. Really pull it out, pull it apart to write it, and then of course check. So those are the things those are the words we're going to do this week. Oops, sorry. Here is our whiteboard. Go ahead and take out your pencil or paper, pencil and paper, and get ready to do a little bit of writing. Pause the video if you don't have a pencil in hand. Hopefully you started this spelling with pencil in hand. The first word we're going to spell is vain. He was so vain, he combed his hair 50 times a day. So I hear the beginning of V, and then I hear the A, long A sound in the middle of the word, and I'm going to spell it A-I. And then of course I hear the N at the end, vain. The next word is blade. The blade of the knife was sharp. I hear this consonant blend, bl, at the beginning. I'm going to use the first spelling, so the A, consonant, silent E for this one. A, D is the consonant, silent E for that long A sound in the middle of blade. Moat, there was a moat around the castle. There's a long O sound in the middle. I'm going to spell it with that second spelling that I can't use at the end of a word, M-O-A. And then, of course, I hear the T at the end. The next word is bleach. She used too much bleach in her clothes and they all got spots. Bleach, I hear the blend, the consonant blend of B and L, and then the long E sound. Now, you might say to yourself, which one? Well, it can't be E consonant E because it's got a consonant digraph. It's got two consonants after the E sound. So the long E sound has to be made in the middle. So we're going to choose that EA, and then we'll put the consonant digraph, the two consonants that make the same sound, one sound together. Oh, look at that. I put two C's. Okay, and the next one is throne. The queen sat on her throne. I hear that consonant digraph, the TH making the th sound, and then R. And then I have own, O, consonant, silent E. Okay, let's stop right there. That's a lot of information in one session, and I thank you for sticking with it and study your words because you have a spelling test this week on Thursday since there's no school on Friday.